When your food is past the date on the label, do you keep it or do you toss it? 9 out of 10 shoppers are confused by the different dates on the labels, according to the National Resource Defense Council. The U.S. Department of Agriculture trying to reduce that confusion by releasing food labeling guidelines. Maria was joined by the nutrition twins, Tammy Lekatos and Shames and Lisi Lekatos, last week to help solve all the confusion.
As registered dietitians, I want to say that we live by, if in doubt, throw it out.
Okay.
So that's what we always say in terms of food safety. But based on the fact that the average American family is throwing away $1,500 worth of food a year that is perfectly good, we think that, a lot of us are living in a lot of doubt when we want to just clear up the confusion.
Well, that's the thing. I mean,
yeah.
I feel like when you think you've had something for a week or two, my instinct is just throw it out. And then I feel like we end up wasting so much food.
And you're right, and that's how people feel. The doubt is really like you see the sell-by date, and that's really for the person that's for the store, that sell-by date. And we all think of that as being something that it might be the verge of spoiling, but actually that just means it's all about quality. It's about when the store should take it off the shelf because it might not taste as good, it might not be as consistent, it might not be as fresh.
All right, so Lucy, take us through the process of deciding whether to keep or toss certain products. You brought some products for us. Tell us that. How do you determine if, for example, we should throw out these eggs?
Okay, well, with eggs, it's 3 to 5 weeks past the sell-by date.
Three to five weeks past the sell-by date.
Milk is only a week past, but you can eat it you can drink it a whole week past the sell-by date. With eggs, we always say a golden rule, and it's not about spoilage necessarily, but if you go within the 3 to 5 weeks to know how fresh it is, take a bowl, fill it with water. I love this test. You drop the egg into the bowl. If it sinks and goes and kind of lies on the bottom of the bowl, you've got a fresh egg.
But even so, generally speaking, 5 weeks after the sell-by date.
3 to 5 weeks, exactly, for the eggs.
And the milk is just 1 week.
Okay. Chicken, seafood, it's going to be, you want to cook it or freeze it within about 1 to 2 days of buying it.
Let's move on to meat products.
Okay, meat products, after, when you buy it, you want to cook it or freeze it within 3 to 5 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what happens if you freeze it? How long does it have staying power for freezing?
It locks in, so you're not really so worried about it. It's more about a quality issue.
It's quality. So in terms of quality, maybe about a year in case there's freezer burn.
A year.
But in terms of safety, it's almost indefinitely. As long as it stays frozen, you're not going to have to worry about it.
For example, somebody sent me as a gift last Christmas Omaha steaks, and I still have them in the freezer.
Yeah,
you should be fine. The quality might not be as good. Omaha steaks.
Oh, I'm going to toss them then.
Yes.
You're saying the quality. I'm not going to have question with meats.
Yes. No, it won't be dangerous.
It won't be safe. It's not a safety issue.
It just won't be. Omaha Steaks would want you to throw them out because they don't want you to think it doesn't taste as fresh.
Good advice. All right, canned dates.
Okay.
I mean,
so
canned foods.
Canned food. This is a crazy one. Now, if it's a high acid food like canned tomatoes, then you have 18 months. But if it's like low acid food like green beans, you have 5 years after the date.
5 years.
5 years.
So we did something fun, Maria. We went through, when we knew we were coming, we went through our pantries and through our refrigerator, and we gathered some items, and some of the items have plenty of time on the date, and some of them do not.
Okay.
And we have a few questions for you. We're going to go through a few and ask you what you think. Now, the mayonnaise, I have to admit, we did not have this, but we know this is a popular one. We bought it yesterday. The date is plenty good, but how long do you think you can keep mayonnaise for?
After the date.
Dairy, I would say a week after the date.
You actually have 3 months.
3 months, okay.
Yeah, so that's not bad, right?
Not bad, okay.
What do you think about peanut butter? How long after the date? Pretty close, 9 months.
Okay, so this one, sadly, I went in my refrigerator a few days ago and I used it. And then I went to go and do the segment and I saw that the date said May 2013.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
and it's open. Once something's opened, I'm chucking that.
Surprising. Well, so the thing that's surprising, so this falls under the category of like soy sauces, teriyaki.
Chili.
You actually have 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Now, unfortunately, this was only 3.5 years. And
even when it's open, you have 3 years?
Yes.
Okay.
In the refrigerator.
Right. Okay.
3.5 years. And I will tell you, the bad news was I should have thrown it out because of 3.5 years. The good news was it tasted so good and I was almost out of it that I went to the store and got another one.
Okay. Real quick, we got to jump on the ketchup. What about the ketchup?
This is all a year. You can keep it in there for a year.
A year.
The ketchup, the jelly, the salad dressing, a year.
Even when it's open.
Barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Okay. When it's open.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Tammy, Lisi, great to see you both.
Thanks for
Thank you so much for the advice.
All right, thank you so much again to the nutrition twins for stopping by and giving us that useful information.